Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Senior Affairs Committee meeting, June 28th, 2021. We welcome you all. The mission of the Senior Affairs Committee is to be advocates for the betterment of our seniors by promoting the physical, emotional, and social well-being of adults aged 55 years and older, living in our very diverse community of Miami Beach. My name is Debbie Quaid, and I am the chairperson for the Senior Affairs Committee. We welcome you this morning. We'd like to start today with a moment of silence for those affected with the tragedy of in Surfside of Champlain Towers, and our prayers and thoughts and every resource available from the city is there. We'd like to begin with a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you all. Our first order of business today is the approval of the May minutes. Have all the committee members had a chance to review these minutes? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. I'd like to introduce also this morning a new member, Maria Marrero, and Maria is going to be representing Blackstone. Welcome, Maria. Do I see you there? Hi, welcome. We look forward to your input and all the information that you can bring back to us. The Senior Affairs Committee does get information and resources. We take it to the mayor and the commissioners for them to take action on it. Diana, is the police department ready this morning? We'll have a presentation from Mayor Enrique Dosse.
I haven't heard from him, so I think we'll just move on.
All right, this morning we are very, very fortunate to have a special presentation from Vice Mayor Michael Gongora. Michael, welcome, and it's so great to see you here. You support us in so many, many ways. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Debbie. It's a real pleasure to be here with you and Diana and the entire committee. Good morning, buenos días, a mis amigos. Es un placer estar con ustedes. Following on what the chair, Debbie, was stating, I wanted to touch briefly on what happened last week at Champlain Towers and what is still ongoing today as the search continues for the missing bodies. This is, of course, a very horrible and sad and tragic condition. Tonight, the commission will meet at 5:30 for a special meeting. We're going to be discussing the city manager's declared state of emergency. The president, the governor, and the county mayor, and now our city manager have declared this to be a state of emergency for purposes of securing funding to assist the ones that are alive, but also additional funding that's going to be needed as the search continues. When things like this happen, this is, of course, unprecedented, unaccounted for in the city budget. So we need to have the money to be able to continue to the search, to pay the overtime for the firefighters and other employees. We will be doing so. In addition, Miami Beach, like many other communities, are concerned that this never happen again. So we're all reviewing right now the 40 years certification process. As some of you may know, when a building is 40, it has to get certified for its major components, such as the structure, electrical, etc. Many condo residents know this because you typically pay a special assessment. An engineer comes in and does a review of the building and tells you what needs to be updated. And then that happens every 10 years thereafter. So we're going to be looking at that timeline to see if it's appropriate. We're going to be looking at the fact that perhaps buildings that abut salt water, such as this one did on the beach, may require some sort of special review or attention. And in Miami Beach, as in Miami-Dade County, they are currently auditing all the 40-year certifications that are outstanding to make sure that they are being done properly. Right now, either an engineer or an architect serves as that special person that oversees the work, and then the city departments will review it after I've heard some discussion about maybe changing the process, but that is how it works right now. And I want you to know that the city of Miami Beach is, our heart is broken for our neighbors in Surfside, feet away from our city. Champlain Towers is the first building in Surfside when you cross out of Miami Beach. And we will do everything to make sure that you are safe, that our seniors that live in our senior housing buildings are safe, and that something like this never happens again. Does anybody have any questions or comments on what happened at Champlain or what the city is presently doing? Okay. And I'm going to say in Spanish also, quería asegurarle a todos ustedes lo que ocurrió en Surfside, lo estamos tomando muy, muy serio y estamos haciendo todo para asegurar que una tragedia como esta no ocurra en el futuro en otro edificio. Así que estamos trabajando para ustedes. All right. With that said, I'm going to move on to things related to the senior community. Many of you know that after I was elected again in 2017, I created the Senior Affairs Committee, and that's why Diana serves as the liaison from my office. We wanted to cater to seniors to make sure that you have a voice, that you are represented in all city issues, and that is why many of our senior buildings are able to elect a representative to serve on this committee, to make sure that you bring us whatever needs are happening in your building and that we can be responsive to you. Since the pandemic last year, I think you know that I, as well as several of my colleagues, have been focused on taking care of seniors. We have distributed masks to make sure that there were adequate masks and facial coverings. There have been numerous food programs and food banks and food giveaways, both sponsored through the city, coordinated through commissioners' offices, and directly through others. And we wanted to make sure that everybody had adequate food to get through the pandemic. As we move forward into the new normal, we're slowly starting to open up. Rebecca Towers is starting to open up, as are the other senior centers where lunches are served. I wanted to highlight another thing that we did around the time we created the Senior Affairs Committee in early 2018. We also opened a new food room in Unidad up in North Beach. When I was running in 2017, many North Beach seniors came up to me and told me, you know, Rebecca Towers has a lunchroom, Council Towers, for Freedoms, but that they didn't feel, other than Stella Maris, that there, which was only for their residents, that there was a program in North Beach. So we created that with Unidad, which serves over 200 meals per day, Monday through Friday. During the pandemic, that became a food delivery program. But I want you to know that I take our senior community very much to heart. I'm always looking out for you, and I want to make sure that nobody is hungry or left without food. With that said, I am always also looking for ways to incorporate our seniors into contracts that come available. When people want something from the city, I want them to give back to the community. One that we just did at the last commission meeting was we renewed the contract with Smith and Walensky, which is the restaurant in South Point Park. As part of that contract, a new public benefit is that they will be providing once a month hot served lunches for Rebecca Towers, the closest senior center to Smith and Walensky. And that was negotiated for the senior community. In addition, a couple of years ago, when we negotiated a renewal of the Boucher Brothers beach concessions, the chairs that are done on the beach, we negotiated and I expanded personally that program to make sure that seniors have 3 days to rent chairs. You don't really rent them, you get them for free outside of Unidad. And we are looking to do a similar one in South Beach. So these are some of the things that Diana and I work on to coordinate for all of you. But really, I came here not so much to talk, but to listen, hopefully, and see if there are unrepresented needs, things that are not being fulfilled for the senior community that I can assist with. Before I say a few words in Spanish, does anybody have any questions so far about anything that I've said?
Yes, I do. Good morning. This is Larissa from Unidad of Miami Beach. I'm here with Yvette Chavarria, which is the Meals Program Coordinator. Actually, last week we had a gentleman that came asking for the chairs outside to go sit at the beach that we do not have. And when he went to ask um, the city people, they said that they didn't know what he was asking about.
Well, I am sorry to say that I don't know either, but what I will tell you is that having Diana on the line, that we will reach out to the city administration and we will get back to you, Larissa, with that information later today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, and before, go ahead. I see Maggie, you gotta unmute yourself. Maggie, tú tienes la voz apagada, tienes que sacar el mute.
Maggie, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Let me, oh, there There.
Ahora sí.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Góngora and all of the committee members. And Maui Benitez, I'm representing Federation Tower, and I'm worried about our building. Our building, as far as I know, past the 40 years, review and everything. And right now it's in renovation, but I noticed that our corner is floating all the time, and I know the drainage down there is not good, and worry about the the base of the building that is good. I want to make sure that everything is correct. If you can see, what is about it in our building, and that makes me more comfortable. Okay.
Thank you, Maggie, for that comment. One thing I forgot to mention is
Mhm.
Diana and I are asking the city administration, as well as the 40-year certifications that they're reviewing, any and all buildings that are primarily resided in by seniors that provide senior housing. We're asking for an audit and review of those buildings because you are our most vulnerable population that we want to
Right.
protect. With your building in particular, I'm going to ask Diana to coordinate, now that you've told us, with our building official, Anna Salgado, so that we can see if we can get an inspector to go out and look. Because flooding, recurring constant flooding can be an issue or a sign that there is something else wrong. Additionally, if you ever see spalling or cracks in your building, that is your building telling you that it needs some looking at and repair. If you ever see anything along those lines, call the city. If you don't know who to call me, call Diana. We're here to serve. You can either call us on the phone, you can email us. My email is michael@michaelgongora.com, michael@michaelgongora.com. But anytime you see an issue like that, let us know right away because it's better to be safe than sorry. It could be nothing, but it's better for us to look into it and know, and we will do that.
I really appreciate. Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Does anybody else have a question? Okay. I'm going to say just a few words in Spanish because I know some of you are primarily Spanish speakers. Solamente le quería decir que creamos este comité para ustedes, para darle una voz en la ciudad de cualquier problema que tenga. Como dijo Maggie, es un problema del edificio. A veces comida, a veces tráfico, a veces son gente haciendo fiesta afuera del edificio. Pero cualquier problema nos trae al comité o me llama a mí o Diana. Estamos aquí para servir. Yo estoy concentrado en mi comunidad, que son ustedes, y es un honor y placer para poder servirlo.
Sorry, Commissioner?
Yes.
Hi, this is Maria representing Blackstone. Good morning. Thank you for having me. I have also a concern. Blackstone has ceiling leaks all the time, especially when it just rains a little bit. It has buckets all over on the first floor, especially. Now we have on the first floor in the lobby area, we have mold. The roof fell in. Last time it was a heavy rain. The apartments, especially facing Washington Avenue, every time there's heavy rain, it gets water comes in through the windows, through the walls. It runs all the way through the doors. I mean, it's horrible. Part of my ceiling, I live on the third floor facing Washington. Part of my ceiling fell down. I mean, our maintenance people, there are only two people, and right now there's only one active, and one gets hurt. They're trying to do their best, but they're doing everything in the building. They cannot do, I mean, they only could do so much. That's my concern is that we have a lot of, like I said, a lot of cracks on the ceiling, especially on the first floor. And that's my concern.
No, thank you, Maria. That is very concerning. We're going to add as well Blackstone to the list that we asked for building to go out and look into those issues to determine that they are not a life safety issue and hopefully just a regular maintenance concern. But those are the kind of things you need to bring to our attention so that we can look into it and ensure that the buildings are safe for residency. So thank you for bringing that up.
Thanks. Thank you.
Excuse me. Hi.
Good morning, Gabby.
Hi. Well, we are the Stella Maris, you know. Now it's very, very difficult, the situation around us. The pedestrian traffic makes it difficult to reach certain services such as the park, the beach, the bus stops. I know the situation is difficult, but it's difficult for us to get out. Get out is so, but to come to the building, we spend a lot of time. I don't know why certain sites don't allow to the Biden street to be straight to help to go to the north and to the south. I know Harding is so close to the building who has the crisis situation, but it could be Byron is a good help, but it's close. It's the best way to go to the north and the north go to the south. The people have to go to Biscayne. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, the traffic closures have been very problematic. Those have not been city decisions. Those have been made at the county level and by the city of Surfside. So I will look into it, but we have not been part of that discussion so far. What the city of Miami Beach is doing is we are providing firefighters to assist the county because Surfside doesn't have its own fire department. We have closed North Shore Oceanside Park temporarily to allow them to stage equipment and other things needed for the rescue. Unidad is serving as an additional reunification center, or will, but I don't have control of the traffic. All I can do is I'll have Diana look into it and we'll get back to you with whatever information the county provides.
Yeah, it's very important the buses, the stop bus, to take the bus is very difficult.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm sure it's been terrible. I live on the cusp between Mid and North Beach, and I went by once, but it's difficult. The traffic is quite difficult with the closure. I suspect they're going to keep it closed until the rescue is completed, but we will get you confirmation on that.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Cindy, good morning. I see your hand raised.
Good morning, Commissioner Gongora. How's it going, Vice Mayor Gongora? I had a couple comments on your wise decision to review all the buildings. I think what we should do is also all of the buildings that are under the Miami Housing Authority, such as Blackstone and the equivalent, Villa Marie, the ones on Collins and 27th, all of those little buildings, the ones in Flamingo Park, all of the ones that, you know, kindly vote for everyone every election, all those buildings, I think there's about 27 total. All of them should be evaluated for safety. because some of the buildings are Art Deco buildings, particularly the ones in Flamingo Park. They're easily over 40 years old. So I think those, even though they're 2 and 3 stories, you can still do quite a bit of damage. My second comment is I've been working for the last 3 months trying to figure out a way. And I did speak briefly with Magnolia last week from Rebecca Towers. Or I haven't tried to follow up with her this week. What I'd like to do is implement a therapy program for seniors with dogs. I'm finally getting my 2 dogs in August, as you know, you've seen pictures of them. So what I want to do, I've been speaking to a program that's up in North Broward. They're off of Oakland Park Boulevard. They provide therapy for seniors. They go into different types of senior buildings. So what I'm going to do is ask the group for feedback, but I've spoken to several people at Rebecca Towers that are interested. I think we'll finally get probably a yes from Magnolia now, since they are opened up the lunchroom, which is a good thing. I went in and spoke to a couple people there on Friday when I saw Bernie. So my idea is to get my dogs trained by the American Kennel Club. The American Kennel Club has a therapy dog program. I've also spoke to 4 other dog owners that have small, kind, caring dogs that are good for therapy. My dog, my breed, is specifically noted for a therapy dog. So I hope to continue to roll this out with the support of the senior committee and the city, because I feel that it's something that's needed. A lot of people are still isolated and lonely. They're afraid to go outside. It has helped getting the freebie. A lot of people are using it. I see them using it every day at Rebecca Towers, even on the weekends. So I think that's helped people get out more. But my goal is, with the therapy dogs, to be able to reach more people and find out, how we can help them through the dogs. Because who wouldn't want to pet a precious Bichon? I mean, they're beautiful dogs. They're very loving. So that's my idea, is to try to bring that program to the city, so that we can incorporate and find out, get more senior feedback, and hopefully add more members to the committee. I think it's a win-win. A lot of people are liking the idea at Rebecca Towers. They like the dogs. They've seen Hershey, the dog I've had, Michael, that you've seen this year. And a lot of them have been able to pet and hug on him. So I'm trying to figure out a way to incorporate it safely. And thank you for your time.
Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, going back to your first point, yes, I agree with you. And that was what I intended in my earlier comment, that we are asking the city manager to do a review of all buildings that house seniors and have either low income or housing authority type programming that helps keep the rents low. So we are asking for a review of all those buildings. On the second point, I love dogs and I love your dog, and it's cutie, and I'm super excited for you to get the dog. We are going to move forward because I do think a lot of seniors would love that. I have to tell you, from being a condo lawyer, we're also going to have to proceed cautiously, because there are people that are allergic of dogs and afraid of dogs. So you're going to find in the senior housing that people are going to kind of fall in 2 camps. The ones that, love and welcome, and the ones that are either afraid or allergic. So we're just going to have to make sure that the introduction is done kind of in a controlled environment, so those seniors that want to be part of the program can be the ones to go there.
Yeah, no, what I would be doing is I'm going to ask the canine group in Broward, because they've already got it all rolled out officially. And what they're doing is they're primarily going, for example, to Senior Sands, which is like at 2nd and Collins, where they're in more of a situation where those people that don't get to go outside. So I was going to start there. And then the other idea I had presented to Magnolia is they could have a sign-up sheet for the people that are specifically interested, and the people that have perhaps been vaccinated. Perhaps it starts outside and they have to be interested and sign up that they're interested, and the dog would stay in the stroller. And I have 2, by the way. They're going to be 2 dogs. So, but there's about 8 of us. But what we have to do first, there's a whole process where the dog would have to do several sets of training before it would be even approved to go to a building. So what I would be looking is for this organization to help me figure out the correct process of what they've successfully already done. One idea is they could also take on and work with us on that process. So again, I'm still in the research phase, but that's where I'm at so far.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Keep us posted, and we'll be here to be a resource for you. So thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I'm going to turn it back over to the chair.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for the updates. And I also want to extend a warm thank you from all of us for the fantastic social events you planned. Salsa in the park. Everyone had a wonderful time, and the hot dogs and the food. So on behalf of all of the seniors in the senior committee, we want to thank you for the entertainment aspect and the joy of getting outside that you have provided for all of our senior residents in Miami Beach. And thank you. And with that said, we're going to let you go and get on with your amazing work that you do for us.
Take care, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
What a wonderful, wonderful visit. Now we'd like to move on to our police update from Mayor Enrique Dosse. I believe you're on. Major?
Hey, guys.
Major, sorry.
Thank you for having us. I know that we got kind of sidetracked. We've been a little busy with helping out our Surfside sister city. So I know you guys want a little update from what was going on in what we just went through with COVID and how it impacted spring break and Memorial Weekend. I know that Memorial Weekend overall was a very successful weekend. But however, because of what's going on nationally, there is a lot of visitors in town. So we still have a lot of people here, not necessarily rushing to go back home. And they have brought their conflicts with them from their cities like Chicago, Philly, Atlanta, have landed their conflicts in your area. So we really stepped up our enforcement in your areas. If you look down along Collins Corridor to include Council North, Council South, and Rebecca Towers, we're really trying to keep the loitering out of those parking lots, which seem to be a popular spot to just hang out and cause some trouble. Going into this weekend, the city is moving somewhat of their North End celebrations to Loomis Park. We'll get a final decision today as to what's going to happen on Ocean Drive, which should somewhat affect our staffing and your ability to maybe enjoy some of those activities like fireworks that may be moved down to Ocean Drive this Sunday. Expect a pretty busy weekend. I think overall the hotels are in the high 80s, and it should be a pretty busy weekend, but we are staffed up for it. If you've been around, you've seen we've been asking multiple agencies to come out and assist us as well. The school board was the latest one that came out this weekend. They'll be out with us for the next 8 weekends, helping us on Friday and Saturday nights when it's busy. And we're deploying them across the Collins Corridor, and then we're reinforcing our troops as well. So overall, I think whatever you guys want to get clarification on, myself and Steve Feldman, the captain of the entertainment district, which is where your 2 towers fall, Council North, Council South, and then the Rebecca Towers falls for the other side of the of Area 1, which is the south. So I'm open for questions, whatever you guys want to ask me. If I can help you and answer you.
Does anyone have any questions?
I had a question on behalf of a resident that called me. Several residents have reached out to our office as well, mainly from Council South and Council North. and what you were saying about the parking lots, that it's open there in front of the bus stops, and they just get a large crowd that forms there. Is there anything we can do to particularly address that issue?
Yeah, we've already directed some of our team members to deal with that. It is an interesting, kind of a little interesting twist, because a lot of the cars are just left and then they come back. So it's kind of hard to figure out at times who belongs and who doesn't belong. But they finally reached out to, I think, the security guards in both of these towers, and we're trying to work with them, and they're telling us who belongs and doesn't belong. We'll be much more aggressive going forward in those two lots, because we did notice the loitering that's happening there. And with the loitering comes the drug use and the alcohol and the loud nonsense that comes up with that.
Cindy, do you have your hand up?
Yes, I do. I just wanted to ask our police representatives, are they going to have a city call this week for the buildings and for the communities on the traffic flow and also on the street closures? Is that going to be happening for the holiday? I haven't seen anything yet. I know we had it for Memorial Day. I know that some people may or may not be drivers, but they're still affected, by the traffic, because if they get on the freebie or the trolley or the bus, there's going to be, more traffic. Are we planning to do street closures again?
No, there's no street closures planned for this weekend at all whatsoever. We've enhanced staffing to deal with the blocking the box. We'll be doing some a DUI saturation, which doesn't mean we're blocking any streets, or we're just looking for impaired drivers. So that should not it should not affect any way anyone coming into the city at all.
Okay, well, what about the neighborhoods? Are you going to be closing off any of the neighborhoods this weekend?
No, ma'am, no.
Okay, all right.
No.
Thank you.
Sure.
That was my question. Thank you.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions?
Yes. Yes, I have one question, Gabby. Yeah, what is the possibility of Environ Avenue temporarily traffic from north to south and vice is possible?
You're talking about the current situation with the building collapse and that.
Yes.
And that, okay, well, the county and the state EOC has taken over that area because they are obviously in trying to save lives.
Mm-hmm.
So they have an enormous amount of equipment, an enormous amount of manpower there, person power. I saw the barricades being set up earlier this morning and being filled with water, which is going to allow Harding Avenue to be able to do a two-way. So Harding Avenue, at some point today, they're going to be able to traverse north and south on Harding Avenue from, I think, 82nd Street. They'll be able to go north on Harding. So that's the improvement. They'll have one lane going north on Harding, hopefully by midday today, if not sooner. So you should see an improvement of somewhat of a traffic flow today, whereas it was completely blocked off in the last 3 days.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Do we have any other questions?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Hi, Major Dosse. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
I live in Blackstone Apartments. It's right here in Washington and A Street, which is very, very lot of activity going on here. Are you going to have extra police activity going on this weekend? Because constantly there's noise. 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, people are there screaming with music, loud music. Like I said, you're going to have an extra police activity going on around here?
We do, but if you can forward me any information that you have or that you've noticed where there's a pattern, I'll direct my officers starting today start paying attention to that area. So more or less, what time are you observing the problems? Is it the weekends or is it the entire week? And is it outside in the front parking lot?
Well, it's right there in Washington Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah, right there, right Washington Avenue and A Street where the licking is and that area.
That has been a challenge, but we will
Oh,
continue
yes.
to push hard.
Yeah.
That has been a challenge. If you haven't noticed, there's a brand new club that opened across the licking.
Yes.
And apparently it's quite popular as well. So we're gonna have to be directing some resources to that.
Okay.
Okay, so I promise you we'll start. I'll put an email through today. Do you see it more on weekends than on the weekdays?
I see it a lot on the weekends. I mean,
Okay.
I usually am I see it during the weekend, but during the week, but not as much as the weekend. Weekend gets very hectic, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and music. The cars are parked outside right here, right in front of Blackstone. And,
Okay.
you know, it's bad.
I'll make sure that I put it out to the folks today, so we start
Okay.
paying a little bit better attention at that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sure thing.
Do we have any other questions?
I have no question. No, I want to say that Concept Tower South resident entered in recovery fast more quiet, safe by the police. There is more quiet, less noise around the buildings. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, we'll keep working on it. Like I said, we had directed our folks to take care of the people there. There are some people that take advantage and party underneath your building. So we're working with the security guard there.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure.
Anything else? Major Dosse, we all understand and respect the danger that all of our first responders are in and the risk they are taking to do an outstanding job in assisting with the tragic incident in Surfside. So we thank you for your time this morning, and we'll let you get back to work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for the service.
All right, bye. Thank you.
All right, so from here, we're going to go on to a discussion with each senior center. Before we get into that, I just want to remind everyone from last month's minutes, our hurricane preparedness was very thorough. The Mount Sinai, the extra rooms that are available. If anyone is listening, all of our Facebook friends, or needs information to update yourself if you missed our last monthly meeting, please reach out and we'll be happy to assist. Make sure that you are ready for any potential hurricane at any time. Thank you. And now, Council Towers South. Can we have-
Concept Tower. No, this is planning to reopen activity room. Is needed to say the positive event. Is planning to reopen activity room next September to offer lunch by the organization Little Havana. Thank you so much. And also beginning exercise, Zumba and stretching by Fernando Garcia is very good for us. Thank you. Thank you, City Hall. Thank you, Gloria. It's very good for us. Thank you so much.
Gloria Campos is amazing, isn't she?
Yes.
All of us, she's great. Council Towers North. Yay, Four Freedoms. Federation Towers, Marie?
Yes, I'm here. Okay, I have to thank also Gloria Campos and the board for bringing Fernando Garcia over here to do exercises every single Wednesday. And we are a lot of people that is incredible for Federation Tower doing the exercises. So everything is still in remodeling, but we are doing these exercises, and it's very good for our community because bringing all together and for 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, talking and doing exercise and doing everything. Thank you. So everything is okay. Thanks.
Fantastic.
Baby, hey, I'm
Hi.
for freedom. I was mute, so I was talking, but you couldn't hear me. I'm
Oh,
from
I'm
for freedom.
sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you called me, but I was mute.
Okay, we're ready to
Okay.
hear you. Your report.
Okay. Here at for freedoms, everything's all right. And I would like to say that even I understand this building is very old and probably they have the certification for the 40 years, but and we were under renovation. I think they didn't finish yet. But even though all of those things, I would suggest that the city could do the inspection as they are going to do to the other buildings here at the beach. Okay? This is my suggestion.
Okay. And Diana can just take a note and make sure. I believe that Vice Mayor Gongora did say that they're going to look at all of the buildings as our senior buildings, even if they are under the 40-year recertification and under construction, to make sure that nothing was missed. But again, as he requested, should you see any cracks in the concrete, anything that looks suspicious, please report it so that they're aware.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Yes. Stella Maris? Gabby?
Yes. These last days, we have been part of a terrible national and international tragedy. In our building, the service are not working yet because only the 60% have received the vaccine. This is the problem. We hope pretty soon is open all the service. We have to say thank you to Mr. Gongora about to give us, the seniors, the opportunity to express our necessities, and it's very, very help for us. Thank you.
Yeah. Bernadette?
Good morning. Did you say only that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear
Yes,
you well.
yes, thank you.
Let me put the volume here, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Good morning, my name is Yvette Chavarria. I'm the New Meal Program Coordinator for Unidad. I'm happy to be here and join this meeting and meeting everyone today. This Unidad right now is working on our meal program for our participants. We're planning to open in July. We're not sure what date yet, but we're working really hard for that. During the period of time until we figure out exactly what day we're going to open for them, we're continuing delivering their foods to their home, and we'll continue doing that until we know exactly the date that we're going to open. We're also working with the authorities regarding the event that happened last week. The center will be a help for the families that are waiting for answers for their families, and we're going to be there for them and have them have them come in the unit at Unidad, give them a hand at this time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's very nice to have you with us. We really appreciate the time and all of your efforts on behalf of the seniors and everyone in town. Thank you so much. Blackstone.
Yes, hi. Like I mentioned, I have two concerns actually. Like I mentioned to the mayor, the maintenance in this building. Right now, like I mentioned, there's only two people doing everything from the cleaning to the maintenance on the apartments, and it's impossible. I mean, they don't have no time. The rugs are filthy, smelly. The floors have been swept in I think in a year. I'm not exaggerating, because we used to have a couple who used to clean and they were let go last year. So the floors, like I said, they're filthy, they're smelly. The rugs, the ceilings have leaks on the first floor, water leaks. The apartments are facing the Washington. Every time, like I mentioned, every time it rains, it gets water in through the window, through the walls. We have leaks on the apartments. Also, the security is another of my concern. People off the streets are sleeping in the lobby area. I have my dog every morning before going to work around 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I find myself with people sleeping in the sofa in the lobby. In the in the stairs, and the fire stairways, they're sleeping with mattresses and everything. Sometimes a couple of times they have to be maintenance had to remove the pillows and mattresses that were on the stairs, because what they do is they take the light. I mean, I'm very concerned with the elderly. If God forbid if there's a fire in the middle of the night, they're taking out the light bulbs, I guess, to sleep there, and there's no light at all on the stairs.
Diana, can you get someone from the homeless outreach to look into this also?
Yeah, my concern is that, like I said, if there's a fire, or the elderly in this building have to leave instantly. I mean, they have to go through down the stairs and they will fall because there's no lights. Like I said, they take off the light bulbs on the stairs, and there's no light at all. um uh, uh like and like I said, our mailbox has been broken into. Our packages are getting missing right now. I have two packages that are missing, that that they've been stolen, because what they do is they come through one door and then they go through the mailbox where the mailbox is. They pick up the packages and they leak through the other the back door. I have seen it with my own eyes. And I get we need security, better security in this building. Like, that's all I could say. Those are my two concerns.
Thank you. Welcome. Diana?
Yes.
Okay, can we also connect Maria with someone from the homeless outreach, that maybe they can start working on a reporting system where they can come out and try and assist with the situation? And
Sure. Yes. I'll coordinate that.
They even use our laundry. The washers and dryers are constantly filthy because I guess they come out of the streets to wash clothes. I see them early in the morning. Like I said, people that they live in this building, they come off the streets. I don't know if they know somebody in this building and they let them in, but it constantly I see people that washing clothes, like I said, sleeping on the sofa, and it's very concerning because you never know how if they're gonna turn in, and something bad could happen with with me or anybody in the morning.
thank you, Maria. We're gonna try and look into it and start getting some resources together that the city has that everybody can assist with you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We're moving on to new business. Cindy, you talked about the dog program, which sounds wonderful, and I'm sure you know all of your resources. Do you want to speak more on it, or does anybody have some new business we should be discussing?
Debbie, real quick, thank you so much. Like I said, I've been researching for this for a while, and I agree with Commissioner Gangora that there have to be protocols and everything in place. So that's why I was going to try to schedule a call this week. I'll hopefully have another update next month, but it's a process because what we have to do for everyone's safety is not only the dogs have to be fully trained, they have to be approved to be a canine dog. So, I mean, I'm not trying to jump the gun here or anything, but I was anxious and excited to see that there is a large organization in Broward that's already been doing it and going to senior buildings. So, we'll continue to research and investigate because we want to keep everyone safe. And just try to bring joy to people's lives. That's the agenda. So thank you so much.
Sounds fabulous. Thank you for taking the time to do this. We all know that pets do have some therapeutic qualities. So hopefully you'll be able to put something together and it'll be fantastic. Thank you so much for putting your time into this. Does anyone
Thank you.
else have new business? No? Well, on that note, I would like to again thank everyone for your time and the efforts that you put into helping us make the city a better place for our seniors and the over 55 population right here. And we will see you all next month. A lot of things to get accomplished. We'll see you next month. I'd like to just close with again heartfelt prayers and thoughts and appreciation to our first responders for the risk they are taking with this very tragic incident in Surfside. And we send our love to all of the residents there and the people of
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye.